Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Battlefield 6 is currently surging because of Season 4. It just hit its highest player count in 5 months at just over 81,000, and as of today it is still sitting roughly at about 70,000 players. That's only on the Steam charts, of course, but we can assume that the player count is also surging on the other platforms where the players are not tracked, so the number is even larger. In today's video, we're going to talk about why that is, what DICE can realistically do to maintain the momentum going into Season 5 and later seasons, and my updated thoughts after about a week of playing Season 4. Be sure to let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments section as well, and if you enjoy the content, guys, hit the like button, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well, and check out the streams. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders and this YouTube channel. So, what could be causing this surge of players, other than the obvious? I mean, Season 4 just came out. That is obviously going to bring players back and increase player numbers. But it just seems, across the community, the sentiment regarding this update has been really positive. People do seem to really enjoy the new map with the naval warfare gameplay and all that sort of stuff. And I think the reason is very simple. It just feels like Battlefield to tens of thousands of people. This is what people think about when they think about Battlefield games. Suru Reef has even been a nice change of pace for me. I've enjoyed getting in the helicopters and the boats and the jets and learning some new stuff, even if the learning experience has been utterly fucking atrocious, as we'll get into a little bit later. But the point stands, this experience so far has made me remember what it's like to play Battlefield 4 naval experiences. I mentioned in previous videos before that those types of maps, with all the vehicle gameplay, those were probably some of my best Battlefield memories. And looking later down the Season 4 line, Wake Island is coming, along with, proximity chat and custom lobbies and all this sort of stuff. So I do think people are starting to see some of the bigger stuff come to the game, and I think the game from now on will probably start to hold a higher player count. Now, with all that being said, what could DICE do to further improve the Battlefield 6 playing experience moving forward? As I've stated in many previous videos, gameplay issues are number one. You improve the gameplay, you improve the second-to-second experience for every single player in the game. One of the biggest things they could focus on is the vehicle balance and overall vehicle gameplay. Holy shit. I knew it was bad, and that's why I've been avoiding playing in the jets and the helicopters since launch, but I didn't realize how bad it really is, particularly for the jets and the attack boats. The helicopters are okay, but they're only okay because stuff like the Little Bird is blatantly overpowered. Or rather, it's just fairly easy to use, and the weapons on the Little Bird are insanely powerful. So let's break this down just a little bit. I already made a full video actually talking about the attack boat gameplay and what I would like to see changed there. The TLDR regarding that is the attack boats are extremely sluggish, they're kind of sitting ducks, and for whatever reason they decided to give the attack boats an aim assist tow missile. I think the course of action regarding those is pretty straightforward. Improve the handling, change some balancing things, and I think the attack boat gameplay will be better off. When it comes to jets, though, oh my goodness. Wow. So I'm not sure how many of you are aware of this. I think a lot of people view me as an infantry-only player, but in Battlefield 3 and 4, I flew jets as my main gameplay, and I still flew them in Battlefield 1 and 5, but less so because, in my opinion, that's when they started to get a little bit ruined. But the jets in BF6, in my opinion, are by far in their worst state that I've ever seen them in a Battlefield game. Let's get some obvious stuff out of the way. Jet flares are inconsistent. You have missiles hitting through flares. That's always really annoying to die to something like that. If I hit a countermeasure and I time it correctly, I should not die to the thing that I countermeasured. And that element is only made worse by the fact that the boats, like I mentioned previously, have aim assist guided missiles that auto lock onto the jets, and you can't flare them, you can barely react to them, and it is basically a free 650 damage for the boat that is attacking any jet in the sky. And then when it comes to jet-specific gameplay problems, for whatever reason, they didn't use the incredible flight system they added late in 2042's life cycle to the A-10 and the Frogfoot, and we have this weird new system that kind of reminds me of the flight system in Battlefield 1, where there is no real speed control. It's just sort of either you go really fast or you go really slow, and you have to try to, you know, find some sort of balance there. And apparently the meta is to literally just macro it for faster turning. One other thing that I could not fucking believe for the life of me is the fact that from the start of the game, you cannot spawn in the jet. You load up a new game and you say, I want to play in the attack jet or the stealth jet. You actually have to wait until the game starts, spawn in as infantry, redeploy, and then, and only then, you can spawn in the jet. But even when you get in the jet, it's disappointing because there are still no jet loadouts present in Season 4, a season that heavily emphasizes vehicle gameplay, and they are not fixing these basic vehicle elements. So just to summarize here, the jets are in a state of disrepair, and it's almost unbelievable how bad they are. I spoke to Silk regarding the jets as well, and, well, he basically wants me to make a full dedicated jet video because some people don't believe Silk when he says how bad the jets are. Guys, believe him. He's fucking right. So to cap this whole section off, they should really focus on improving a lot of the separate vehicle gameplay elements if they want to improve the overall condition of the game itself. It should be up there as a really high priority alongside continued audio fixes, visibility stuff having to do with spotting, and whatever other major issues you guys want to put up there. Overall, my thoughts regarding Season 4, even after a week of playing it, have remained pretty much the same. You know, I think my first impressions were pretty level-headed, and at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I kind of know what to expect. You know, I played Battlefield for quite a long time, and have covered the game for quite a long time at this point as well. Looking at Wake Island coming later in the season, I don't really know how that's going to play in Battlefield 6, because one thing I'm really worried about is actually the lock-on distance. The lock-on distances for a lot of stuff in this game are super, super long range. I want to say off the top of my head, they are over 500 meters, if not touching 600, maybe even over 700 meters for some of the vehicles slash lock-on weapons. And historically speaking, Wake Island isn't really that wide of a map when it comes to one end of the island to the other end of the island, and then of course the airspace and all that. So I'm just wondering how the vehicle experience is going to be on Wake Island, but the infantry experience should also be interesting because it looks as though they're going to be adding some sort of metal-constructed center flag on Wake Island, located directly in the water. I'm sure the boats will have free reign of that area as well. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what they do with the Battlefield classic of Wake Island in Battlefield 6. What is this, the 96th time they've brought this map back? Alright guys, so appreciate you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments section. Hit the like button, hit the sub button, and swing by the streams. I stream every day at twitch.tv/enders, and be sure to follow the brand new Clips Instagram and sub to my second channel. Both links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.